ran as a joke in that election, to try and make a point. But those three black candidates, and they ended up splitting the vote, right? So at the end of the election, I won, and I was voted to represent the entire African American community of Riverside County, California. Oh, hi, hey, hello, and welcome to the Jib. This
I want to hear more of that story sometime.
Is it with many and varied schemes? I told you about that, didn't I? Remember I told you about the Riverside, California African American community?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't worry. This podcast is about the many and varied schemes. It's not racist. Oh, it's a little bit. It's very racist. Yeah. But
okay, move on.
They had to come to me. Do you understand? And I decided. I was in charge.
Just move on. Just move on.
But the many and varied schemes of the many and varied U.S. law enforcement and intelligence agencies, organizations, and committees, and how they are stupid and funny. Join us on our merry journey through space and time. You guys really. You know what we should have as a prize for some competition was that somebody gets to be in the green room when these stories are coming out, and I just got to cut them off right when the Jib logo comes in. Anyway. Hi, my name is Barry. You might know me as the guy in the background at the Comedy Central roast of Roseanne Barr in 2012. I had the best jokes of the night, but they all got cut for legal reasons. The entire set is on the blog if any of you are curious.
Fantastic. Is that real?
Yeah, I have it. I have a link to the post.
Oh, fucking A. All right.
Wait. Are you like really real, or are we just having a joke real? Because no, if it's really real.
Oh, I was waiting for the link. What the hell, man?
Oh no, I have the link. I can send you the link.
Okay, cool.
The set that I did not get cut. I wrote a link as a joke. Cut all this out.
Gotcha.
Okay, go.
Hi everybody. I'm Seamus, and I haven't watched a single minute of the World Cup.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
but that's true, right? Nor have I.
Yeah, it's very true. So
I only found out
I love soccer. I love soccer. I love football, right? Yeah, I do. But I just, honestly, FIFA, fuck off. I just don't give a fuck.
Oh.
Just as long as all the the terrible nations lose, I'm happy. So whatever.
I only found out the World Cup was on 2 days into it because the Google changed their little banner.
You don't really watch sports, though, do you?
Personally,
yeah,
no. My father, back when he was compos mentis, he used to play a game with me where he would tell me who was playing, and I had to guess the sport. So he'd say something like Ireland is playing. He said one day Ireland is playing France, right?
Yeah.
And I said, soccer or whatever, right? And he says, no. He says, think of what France is famous for. And I said, I was thinking of the Tour de France then, and I said, maybe cycling, Yes, Barry. Ireland is playing France in the cycling. It was a rugby match, as it turns out, but I know nothing about it. Even when my own country is playing, I know nothing about it. So, we're not here to discuss cycling, are we?
No, but as a warning, it looks like my brother is being very kind and going to weed whack my lawn. So, might be some audio disturbances in this that I just can't avoid because I just got done 2 hours of mowing and he can weed whack, and that's nice. So
it's nice of him to do that.
Yeah, it is. So hopefully doesn't get too loud. But
I may also have disturbances, so we'll see.
Yeah, if it gets too bad, we might just have to wait a few minutes and start over. But anywho, we're not here to talk about the World Cup or Barry's inability to recognize or appreciate sports.
There we go.
Yeah, December 20th, 1947. Okay. Jon Burge was born in Chicago. He was raised on the South Side. He was the younger son.
Keep that up, Seamus.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Floyd and Ethel Burge of Norwegian descent. Floyd was a blue-collar worker for the phone company, and Ethel was a consultant and fashion writer for Chicago Daily News, which surprising. Yeah, that's surprising and good deal. Anyways, so June 65, Burge graduates. He was in college, but he dropped out. He ends up going into the Army Reserves for 6 years. This included 2 years of active duty. He spent 8 weeks in military police school in Georgia. He received some training at Fort Benning, where he learned interrogation and interview techniques. Okay. He volunteered for a tour of duty in Vietnam, but instead was assigned. Yep, but instead was assigned as an MP trainer. He served as an MP in South Korea, gathered 5 letters of commendations from supervisors, June 18th, 1968, he volunteered for duty in Vietnam a second time and was
Wow.
assigned to the 9th Military Police Company infantry, which was assigned to provide security. He was a sergeant there at the Division Base Command in Dung Tang and served a tour as a provost marshal investigator as well. Over his overall during his military service, he earned the Bronze Star, Purple Heart, the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry, 2 Army commendations, medals for valor, for pulling a wounded man to safety under fire.
Thank
So,
you.
kicking some ass, you know?
He sounds like the guy who was chasing down the A-team.
Right? Yeah. So he's honorably discharged from the Army in August 25th, 1969. He's 21. So he returns to Sweet Home, Chicago. What do you think he does?
I'd say with that skill set, he either joins the police or he some other sort of investigative unit.
He becomes a cop.
Okay. Well, it's a skill set, right? Oh, there he is.
Yep. Kind of looks like Curly, doesn't he?
A little bit, but I'd
Three
say
Stooges. See.
if Curly had a brain.
Yeah. Anyway, so he becomes a police officer March of 1970. He's 22. He's
Oh
again
my
on the
God,
south
he's
side.
had two tours in Vietnam and he's 22.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
So I mean, we're going to talk about his career, but just to give you a quick, macro view here: 20 years of service. He earned 13 accommodations, letter of praises from his department, from the Department of Justice. So kind of a big deal in Chicago, right?
He is a good cop.
Well, yeah, that's what the cops would say. John
He's good at copping. We'll put it that way.
yes. Okay. John became the leader of a group of the police officers in area 2, known by various names. One was Burge's Ass Kickers.
Oh, here we go.
And you guessed this one. The A-Team, literally, was one of them.
And Magnum Force.
Yeah, but they were most commonly known as the Midnight Crew.
Okay.
Want to guess what they were known for there, Barry?
I'm going to guess extracurricular anti-criminal activities.
You were not wrong. But one thing that they definitely got, sometimes sometimes you're trying to do a thing, as a cop and trying to reach out to somebody, to get to know them better. Like, say if you're interviewing somebody and they aren't telling you what you want them to tell you, and you need somebody with extra skills to get what you want. This is the kind of shit that John and his guys are good at.
Like a mafia.
1973, his officers had arrested a man named Anthony Holmes on suspicion of murder, and I'll just up front, we're going to name several people that they deal with. A lot of these people are not exactly decent people, but it doesn't mean that they deserve better. When Holmes refused, what?
You were telling me about a black guy in Florida who had definitely committed a crime. You said he was driving a car or something for a robbery and he was on the death row for it.
Oh yeah.
You said he's definitely not a good guy. He's a criminal, but the way they're dealing with him is also wrong, even though he's definitely guilty and a criminal.
Yeah, I mean, everybody deserves the same justice system as everybody else, right? That's the whole point.
So,
but
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, when Holmes refused to identify his accomplice, the officers left him handcuffed in Area 2. And then they went to go find John. A few minutes later, John strolled into the interrogation room with a mysterious box and a brown paper bag. The box had hand crank on one end and 2 wires with alligator clips coming out the other. Burge then picked up the alligator clamps and barked N-word. And no, he didn't say N-word. He said, that word. You're going to tell me what I want to know. He fastened the alligator clips and pulled the plastic bag down over Holmes's head, warning him not to bite through it when the pain hit. Then he started the crank. When the first blast of electricity rolled through him, Holmes bit the plastic bag. Then he passes out. He wakes up to John putting on a fresh bag over his head and repeating the interrogation method.
Bitch, you had one job. Do not bite the
A rumor in the department started that John learned these techniques from his time in Vietnam.
No shit.
He denies this, but I come on, John. You're probably the one that started the rumor. But anyways,
You get a medal for electrocuting suspects in Chicago.
yeah.
Maybe in
So
the 70s you would under Daly, is it?
yeah, wow, funny. You see where this is going.
Yeah.
John released another burst of electricity, and again,
Oh,
Holmes felt 1,000 needles pierce through every nerve of his body. They kept piercing his brain until he passes out. When he wakes back up, John is laughing and preparing his box, which he called the N-word box.
no, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
So finally, Holmes broke.
He would have fought with black people alongside black people in Vietnam.
It doesn't matter. He confessed to a murder that he didn't commit. During the decades
Sure,
he spent,
he did.
yeah, during the decades in prison, as his wife divorced him, 8 members of his family died. His memoirs still anguish about the torture he felt. The Midnight Crew, though, was great for John's career because of his high clearance rating. He was promoted to sergeant and then lieutenant, even though he was so open about his methods that he would sometimes display his N-word box on a table. And that's what it looked like, by the way. You can see the alligator clips. And
Yeah.
but apparently effective, so, if you go for that sort of thing.
If you have any N words and you want to put them in jail, I guess that's how you do it.
Yeah, and just assume, I'm not going to say this, but I believe everybody I'm going to be talking about that they're going to be dealing with are, in fact, black folks. Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of targeted racism by police, hard to believe. 1983, Daryl Cannon was interrogated by the Midnight Crew on suspicion that he had been an accomplice to murder. The officer with the pump shotgun played Russian roulette on me by showing me a shotgun shell, then turning it back to me, saying, "Listen, N-word," and all I could see was his back and not the shotgun shell. I heard 2 clicks of the shotgun being clicked. Then he turned and faced me for forcing the barrel into my mouth, saying, "N-word, are you going to tell us where AD is?" Cannon said that he didn't know, which he didn't, but the officer, with the shotgun, Lieutenant Peter Digman, Burge's second in command, shoved the shotgun in his mouth again. And then the other officers there began to chant, "Blow that N-word's head off," like a cheering section.
The officers began to chant.
Yes. It's
Okay.
It's festive. Come on. Guys just kind of, they're really excited about what they do, Barry.
He got that from Vietnam as well, because I saw that movie, the Kung movie, remember?
Yeah.
Got that movie.
But it wasn't a shotgun. But Cannon still didn't know where AD was, so Digman played another round of turning his back. Same deal with the gun. This time, Cannon was sure that he was a dead man, and when Digman pulled the trigger, he heard the heavy metal click, and a burning black in the back of his head was so intense that he couldn't take it much longer. Moments later, they persuaded him that he was to, in fact, not be dead because he thought he was fucked.
Yeah.
This is a crude drawing that was made whenever he reported what had happened to him.
That's the actual thing.
Uh huh.
Oh, wow.
So they threw him. They threw him in an unofficial vehicle. They pulled Cannon's pants down around his knees, and armed with a cattle prod, pushed it into his crotch and began making threats to him.
Yeah.
With that didn't produce an answer that they wanted, they took him to the impound yard where his car was, and then they asked him to show us where everybody was sitting, they demanded. When he said he didn't know, Byrne had hit him in the crotch with a blast from the cattle prod.
Byrne's an Irish name?
Yep. He kept it on his junk for 30 seconds.
Oh, dear.
Yep. Cannon said that he would have told him, that he murdered the president at that point, just to, So,
As Quentin Tarantino says in Reservoir Dogs, he said he'll tell you he started the goddamn Chicago fire.
Exactly. 3 years later, that detective Burns would be promoted to commander. That's what the cattle prod.
Oh, Jesus. It looks, oh my God.
Yeah, it looks a little sinister, doesn't it?
I don't want that on my balls.
I don't want that anywhere near me.
No,
Fuck that.
thank you.
Yeah. February 1982, when two officers from Chicago PD's gang unit were shot dead by unknown assailants, the police superintendent put Burge in charge of the furious manhunt. Which
Why?
I thought it. What's that?
Why would they put that man in charge?
Because have you ever seen The Shield, the movie, or the TV show?
The drug dealing cops.
Yeah, Vic Mackey. He is Vic Mackey.
Oh, okay.
That's all I could think about, especially when I read that. You know what I mean? Because like when shit goes down, that's who they call, right?
Okay.
Because that's just how they roll.
Or he's like the unit in L.A. Confidential.
Yeah. For 5 days, John and his midnight crew were under command, kicking doors, made threats, taking some back to the station where they did more interrogation. On the 5th day, they got a tip that two brothers had committed the shooting, Andrew and Jackie Wilson. Burge and his core group of detectives made the arrest. They took the Wilson brothers straight back to Area 2 for the usual interrogation.
Yeah.
They forced Andrew. They focused on him because somebody said that he was the shooter, right? Okay. So punching, kicking him, making him feel at home. Yeah. Then they put a plastic bag over his head and burned him with cigarette lighters.
Oh.
And of course they brought out the box. Burge handcuffed him to a radiator, attached one of the alligator clips to his nose, another to his ear, and then started cranking. The blast jolted Wilson back into the radiator. John did it some more and moved the clip from Wilson's lip. Moved it from his lip, and when he was tired of that, he moved the clips to his penis and testicles. Frankenbeans.
Yeah.
After 15 hours with disfiguring burns from the radiator and, a whole lot of other fun things going on.
Does he not have evidence of the cigarette burns, though? Will he not have those evidence of the things on
him? Good point. But anyways, Wilson confessed. He obviously is guilty at this point, right?
Sure, yeah.
So John and his men tried to drop off Wilson at the county jail for processing, right? But the supervisor, which this didn't happen with previous ones, believe it or not, actually took a look at Wilson and was like, fuck this, I'm calling the medical examiner.
Okay.
And Dr. John Rabba comes.
Short episode this time.
Yep. Yeah. Not even close. We're on page 5 of 13. He comes to the jail and he was so outraged that he wrote a letter to Chicago Superintendent Richard Burzek. Burzek. Anyways, I don't really care.
That was the end of the Midnight Crew.
Right, yeah. All these injuries occurred prior to the arrival at the jail. They must have been through the investigation of the alleged brutality. He sent the letter, so the superintendent sent the letter to then Illinois State Attorney and returning champion, Richard M. Daley. Richard
Daley.
This is younger Richard Daley. So, which both of them become mayor. Both were shitheads.
Yes.
So, I can't remember what his dad's name was now. It's not Richard.
Richard, wasn't it? Was not?
I don't think. I could be wrong.
I thought it was Richard as well, because he's Richard J.
Maybe it is.
Isn't he? No.
No, this is Richard M. Daley. So the other one is Richard J. That's right. That's a difference.
Did you just asking them?
No, I just remember because I remember looking him up for this specifically. Actually,
you are correct. Anyway, according to Google.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Asking for marching orders, and Daley decided to skip the investigation. And Andrew Wilson got
sorry. What?
yeah. He's like,
I like the way you just low past, decided to skip the investigation and blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't stop you there. Skip the investigation. And this is the attorney, the guy whose job it is to investigate, right?
Yep. Instead, forced, went through trial, and Andrew got the death sentence. And here are some of the photos.
That's all torture photos, right?
Yep.
His eye got fucked from beatings?
Yep. Fortunately, you can see the back of his head from hitting the radiator. Thankfully, they didn't show us the Frankenbeans, so, I'm kind of glad about that.
Chest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure his Frankenbeans don't look too good either, but Midnight Crew tortured and interrogated Michael Tillman over a 4-day period in 86, threatening him with a gun to his head, smothering him with a plastic bag, burning him with cigarette lighters, pouring 7-Up in his nose, beating him with a telephone book. This is some people's Fridays. I don't know,
I
but
imagine they were emboldened by the fact that Daly appeared to be condoning them.
yeah, because this, well, let's see, what Andrew was, what, 82, 83? Yeah, this is like 4 years later.
Yeah.
So this is nothing. And trust me, there's a few in between. We'll get to the numbers at some point. It's pretty crazy. Despite Tillman's confessed to charges of murder and rape, for which he wasn't responsible. A few weeks later, Chicago PD caught the actual killer, but Jon still turned Tillman's false confession over to Daly prosecutors, and believe it or not, Daly convicted him.
What about the guy who actually did it?
Oh, well, he got convicted too, so...
You can't have two guys convicted of the same thing.
I don't know. It's Chicago. It works out.
Okay, it's Chicago.
Yeah. So it's just like a different... It's like Narnia. It's just like sort of how they're like different rules, you know?
Forget it, Jack.
So,
Chicago.
yeah. That's right. Yep. Fuck. Chinatown. That's it. Thank you.
Chinatown, yeah.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
He spent more than 20 years in prison. In 88, Burge tortured a suspect named Ronald Kitchen for 16 hours and emerged from a confession so explosive it got Kitchen also a death penalty. Meanwhile, Dr. Raba's letter, the letter about Wilson, worked its way through the court system. In 89, 7 years after his arrest, Wilson filed a civil suit against the four detectives, including Jon, the superintendent, and the city of Chicago. March 15th, 1989, Sergeant Thomas McKenna was acquitted of brutality. March 30th, 89, John Yakutis and Patrick O'Hara were acquitted of charges by unanimous jury. However, the jury was at an impasse regarding Jon. Duff ordered a retrial for Jon and former police superintendent Richard Brzezinski, or whatever the fuck his name is. Again, I don't care. Chicago police of two other outstanding charges: conspiracy. But Jon was acquitted of these charges in a second trial. But by now, folks were paying attention for the abuse of Jon and Chicago PD, so it's kind of out there, right?
So wait, now, the people on his team who were torturing people were found guilty of it, and he wasn't.
No, they all got off.
Oh, McKenna got off as well?
Yeah, didn't I say that?
Okay.
I thought I said that.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a spaced out. I probably should just said it there. All got it. Yeah, that was kind of, anyways.
Nope.
And also I should say at the beginning, the Marshall Project, the Guardian, the Chicago Reader, and the Tribune, I'm going to mention those now. Those are primary sources for this episode. The Chicago Reader was published a lengthy report of the torture by Chicago PD. Through that same year, additional material was published by Chicago Tribune. Civil activists and victims of Jon pushed for disciplinary action against the officers, despite extensive investigation into the actions by a number of police employees. Few others but Jon were sanctioned. State's Attorney Richard A. Devine was pressured to seek new trials for the Death Row 10, who were allegedly tortured by Burge. And we'll talk about them more in a second. However, the Illinois Supreme Court denied the motion. So, that's always cool. January 28th, 1989, Amnesty International, go Ireland, right, called for investigation into police torture in Chicago. And when the city's mayor, here he is again, Richard M. Daley, seemed reluctant to initiate an investigation. His opponent, Danny K. Davis, questioned whether there was any police or city cover-up, which is fucking fair. Eventually, after pressure by citizens and organizations and anti-brutality organizations, the police department resumed an internal investigation. November 1991, the Chicago Police Department of Professional Standards, the Internal Affairs Division that investigates complaints of police conduct, acknowledged on October 1991 a request for action against Jon. This was a common precursor to a police dismissal and gave the City of Chicago's Corporation Council 30 days to consider the report. Jon was suspended for 30 days pending separation. Starting on November 8th in 1991. The police board set a November 25th hearing for formal termination of Jon and 2 detectives based on 30 counts of abuse and brutality
Okay.
against Wilson. So just one victim.
Oh my God, 30 separate accounts against this one guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The hearing reviewing internal police investigation finding that Burge and Detective Eucodis had physically abused Wilson, and O'Hara did nothing to stop. So he's guilty by association.
This is late 1991.
Yep.
Should probably point out that it was early 1992 that the LA riots happened.
Yep. That's fantastic. Thanks for bringing that up. Thank you very much. We might have to do an episode on that because it's very
fascinating.
There's a lot to that to unpack. Honestly, the Dollop's already done a really great episode on it. I don't even know if we could do. Yeah, I don't think I could outdo what Dave did on that. He really did a very deep dive. Seriously, go check that out. Everybody
do you
needs
remember
to.
we did
It's
an
really
episode
good.
about the first episode we did in Iran was at Mossadegh, remember?
Yeah, and then we also did the Pinkertons too about the same time. It's just crazy. Yeah.
But you directed me to one of these episodes they did about Mossadegh, and I listened to it, the whole thing, and we had a crossover of maybe 2 or 3 sentences. They took a completely different angle on it than we did. So
yeah. So the suspension attracted controversial over the 30-day period ended, and officers remained suspended without pay. They sued for reinstatement, but the claims for reinstatement was initially denied. During the hearings, an internal report revealed in 1990, Goldston report, which is an internal report, which would not be made public until June 20th, 2006, by the way.
Okay.
Determined that, quote, the preponderance of evidence is that the abuse did occur and that it was systematic. Listed the names of 50 alleged victims of torture, brutality, and the names of detectives who had been involved, and stated particular command members were aware of the systematic abuse perpetrated either by actively participating in some or failing to take action to bring it to an end.
Touch the 10.
During the February 1992 hearing, several alleged victims testified against Jon. The internal hearing concluded in March 1992. The Chicago Police Board found Jon guilty of physically abusing Wilson and ordered his firing from the police department. February 10th, 1993.
Maybe it's like the voting laws they had in the Reconstruction when it takes 3 black guys to have enough evidence to count as 1 white guy.
Yeah, right? It's fucking insane. It's insane. This is 1992.
Yeah,
and again, bring up, the Rodney King stuff is very valid. Good call on that. So anyways, detectives Eucodis and O'Hara were given a 15-month suspension without pay.
Okay.
And reinstated with amounted to a penalty equal to time served.
Okay.
Upon the 2 detectives were initially demoted, but about 1 year later, they were reinstated back to their full rank with back pay.
They did an Ariel Sharon.
Yep, it's like it didn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
Jon attempted to have his ruling overturned, but the suspension and subsequent firing were upheld.
But it's on the record. It's on the record now.
Yeah, I just think that the difference is he was in charge and he's the lightning rod for all this. So those 2 kind of got away. But those 2 all these guys need to be fucking in jail.
Yeah, there's a crew.
Yeah. Due to the internal hearing, the city of Chicago was simultaneously paying lawyers to defend Jon during the appeal by Wilson and a new civil case by another victim, while employing lawyers to prosecute him on the department's charges.
Yeah.
The city hired outside counsel to prosecute the detectives at the internal hearing.
That's probably a good idea.
After having spent $750,000 to defend Jon in the Wilson case, the city of Chicago debated whether to follow normal procedures and pay for the defense of its police officers. See, this is why qualitative immunity is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is why, if you strip these fuckers of that, then they won't do this shit. Because they know they're the ones that are going to be on the fucking tap for it, not the fucking taxpayers. But we're just starting to talk about that in this episode. An investigation conducted by the Chicago Police Department's, the professional standards concurred in '94 that John and his detectives engaged in methodical, systematic torture. The type of abuse described was not limited to unusual beating, but went into such esoteric areas as psychological techniques and planned torture.
Esoteric areas.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is it's fucking crazy. And this is cops calling out other cops.
Yeah.
You know?
Where was that 20 years ago, man?
Well, probably needs to come back too. As more information about John's tenure was published, activists worked on behalf of Chicago inmates on death row who claimed that have been wrongfully convicted. In 1998, representatives from the MacArthur Justice Center of University of Chicago Law School, the London-based International Center of Criminal Law, Human Rights Law Professor Anthony Amsterdam, former federal judge George N. Layton, Abner Mikva, Illinois Judge Eugene Pickman, activist Bianca Jagger, called for a stay of execution for Aaron Peters, a death row inmate in Chicago. His conviction for murder was based primarily on a conviction which was claimed to have been coerced from John.
I know Bianca Jagger.
Yep.
She's done a lot of human rights work. She's done a lot of stuff in favor of to promote Nicaragua.
She also fucked Mick Jagger, right?
I mean, that's not the best thing she's done, but yeah.
1999, lawyers from several death row inmates began to call for a special review of convictions that were based solely pretty much on, John's in the Midnight Crew shenanigans. These inmates became known as a Death Row 10, which we kind of talked about a minute ago.
Yes, you did.
Now I'm going to mention some good work by a politician, which I rarely do, but hey, you got to... When they do it, you gotta.
Does it feel bad?
Kind of does. Kind of does. In 2000, Governor Ryan placed a moratorium on executions in Illinois.
Okay.
After courts exonerated and freed 13 death row inmates. Ryan also promised to review the cases of all the Illinois death row inmates, given the number of cases based solely on brutality. The inmates. Yep. That's probably why he's doing good work.
No, because McKenna's an Irish name.
we gotta even it out. Those are posers. They're probably loyalists. Come on.
An Irish name.
Stop it. They're probably all loyalists. Just go with that. Protestant fucks.
No, those names. McKenna, maybe.
Yeah, we don't cut those. Yeah. Given the number of cases of alleged brutality to be investigated, inmates who claimed to have been abused and gave coerced confessions were offered reduced sentences and exchanged for dropping charges. So, not great, but it's definitely better, right? January 11th, 2003, before leaving office, Ryan commuted the death sentence of 167 prisoners on death row. He granted clemency by converting these death sentences to life sentences without parole in most cases, while reducing sentences of some others. So
wait. Is it implied that all of these 167 were connected to torture?
I believe so.
Okay.
But regardless, we shouldn't have the death penalty. I'm against it myself, so
unless they're against the death. Yeah. And people say, what about pedophiles? And I'm against the death penalty. That's what that means. So whatever example you're thinking of, I don't think killing those people is the answer.
Yeah, except for billionaires. Daley at the time of at this time was a Cook County State's Attorney, had been accused by the Illinois General Assembly for failing to act on information that he possessed about John and the crew, right? Because he fucking knew. We already covered that.
These guys all in the Cook County Jail.
Sorry?
Are these guys all in the Cook County Jail?
The Blues Brothers? Yeah. It's got a wicked. They cook a wicked pepper steak there. Daley acknowledged his responsibility.
What happened to the Bluesmobile? I needed a microphone. Okay, yeah, I got it.
That makes sense. That makes sense,
yeah.
Daley, who was not on mission from God, acknowledged his responsibility to be proactive, and probably liked Illinois Nazis actually, in stopping torture, but denies any knowledge which could have made him responsible. What?
He
That
had the
doesn't.
knowledge.
You
He had
you
the
knew.
knowledge.
Yeah, you come on, come on.
I knew. It's like Richard Nixon. I knew what was going on, but I had nothing to do with
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. July 19th, 2006, Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. issued a press release calling Mayor Daley culpable and possibly even criminal culpable for his failure to prosecute until the statute of limitations ran out. Jackson called for an investigation to determine whether there was planning on the delay of these orders to allow the cases to expire. Because under Illinois' weird laws, the statute of limitation runs out for torture and all these other. So, a lot of these crimes that these folks were, all involved in, they just
Still active.
timed out.
Well, they're not active.
Yeah,
Statute of
Yep.
limitations ran out.
yep.
Okay.
Because Illinois is fucking weird. After being pardoned by Governor Ryan, many of John's accusers from the death row began to file lawsuits against the city and the officers. Shocker, right? Four of them filed suit in the United States District Court of the Northern District of Illinois against the City of Chicago, John, the Midnight Crew, the Cook County, and a few current and former state's attorneys, assistant state's attorneys, so on, right?
Yeah.
December 2007, a settlement was reached. $19.8 million was reached between the plaintiffs. So money is going to start getting tossed out here. Yep. 2002, the Cook County Bar Associations, the Justice Coalition of Chicago, and others petitioned for a review of 60 cases based on alleged abuse by the Midnight Crew. So John and 8 others pled the Fifth Amendment, which you could watch the whole deposition.
On YouTube, is it?
Yep. John pleads the Fifth Amendment to virtually every question for 4 hours.
He's entitled to do that.
He answered the questions only about his name and his boat, which he named the Vigilante.
Yeah.
Of course you fucking did.
Yeah.
Right?
He is
Go
entitled to
off.
the Fifth. We have to defend that.
Yeah,
He's
go
entitled
off.
to the Fifth.
You fucking piece of shit. Anyway,
He's a piece of shit,
yeah. And his annual $30,000 pension, the Chicago, which I read that. I probably should have put that amount because I think I read elsewhere it was higher than that. So I'm not sure how much he was actually making.
The U.S. Supreme Court has determined that someone pleading the Fifth Amendment cannot be taken as a sign of their guilt, and I agree with that judgment.
That's fair. That's fair.
This guy was definitely guilty.
Yeah.
He's definitely an asshole, but we have to defend the system, like at some point, the jurisprudence,
Yep, that's fine. City of Chicago continues
to believe that at all. That's fine.
City of Chicago continues to be bound by the court order to pay John's legal fees because it's Illinois. It's fucking weird, man. Eventually,
We can buy another boat.
Yeah.
And call
Eventually,
it the
yeah. Well, he's not going to call it. Well, I'm not going to say that joke. Eventually, 3 police officers were granted immunity in order to further investigation into John. The incident prompted the city to request. The Inter-American Commission on Human Rights to allot torture victims an hour-long hearing at the October 2005 session.
Thank you.
In the end, the group evaluated 148 cases. The investigation revealed that in 3 of these cases, prosecutors could have proved beyond a reasonable doubt in court that torture by the police had occurred.
Yeah.
5 former officers, including John, were involved. Half the claims were deemed credible, but because the timing of the cases exceeded the statutes of limitations for the police abuse and of suspects, no indictments were made. So again, Daley and all the law enforcement.
It might be time to go federal.
Well, we'll get that eventually.
Let's go federal. I want to go federal. Bring in the grand jury, FBI.
Daley and all law enforcement officers who had been disposed were excluded from the report. Among the final costs, this is just from the report and all this nonsense. $6.2 million for the investigation, $7 million for hiring outside counsel for John and his fellow cops. A lot of money.
They're paying how much do they pay to the victims? $19 million?
That's just that set of it. That's 4 victims.
Okay. So
That's
far,
so
we're 19
far. Oh,
so far, we
yeah.
have like a chalkboard. We have John has got
Oh,
6
we'll get
million.
to it.
We
We'll
have
get to
19
it.
million. So we're going to see who wins in the millions,
Yeah,
right?
nobody wins. Nobody wins.
Okay.
Everybody loses. After being fired, John moved to Apollo Beach, Florida, a suburb of Tampa.
Oh,
He
Florida.
continued to
Oh,
receive, yeah, right.
what good
That
fuckos go to die.
Yep, that tracks, right?
Yeah,
He
true.
received his police pension under the weird fucking Illinois laws. Upon retiring, he ran a fishing business. Although John had been pressured by. One second. Excuse me. Although John had been presumed to be protected by any statute of limitations, the U.S. Attorney of the North District of Illinois, Patrick Fitzgerald.
Irish.
There you go. These are all fucking Irish guys. Is Burge an Irish name?
No, it's Norwegian. You told me at the start.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, you fucking Norwegian bastard. October.
Goddamn Norwegians again.
Yeah. We're gonna fuck your Viking ass up. In
Yeah.
October 2008, charged John with 2 counts of obstruction of justice and 1 count of perjury. Which
How many counts of obstruction of justice? 2.
2? Yeah.
Out of fucking 170.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go on.
I mean, this all sounds weak ass, but hey, whatever, right? It's always the same. It's always the same shit. So he gets arrested October 21st, 2008. Faced 40 years of prison
I'm cool with that.
for the 2 obstruction and 5 years for perjury. He pleads not guilty and was released on a $250,000 bond.
Okay.
The indictment's perjury count reference to John's written testimony in the Madison Hobley federal lawsuit, which we didn't even talk about because there's. I can't stress. I always say this, but I mean seriously, I had 30 pages Friday,
Yes.
and I trimmed it down to 13, and I was struggling every bit of the way because there's just so much to this.
The reason
Anyways,
the reson I know you're telling the truth about that is because I have the same problem with my podcast, as you are aware.
yeah. He was deemed to commit torture. Quote, I have never used any technique set forth above or as means of improper coercion of suspects while in detention or during interrogation.
What about the N-word box, man? What about the N-word
Yeah,
box?
exactly. On June 28th, Burge was convicted of all 3 counts. 2 counts of, we already talked about what he was charged. On January 21st, 2011, he was sentenced to 4.5 years in federal prison.
2011, we're getting close to uncomfortably close to this time.
Yeah, which is just not long enough. But anyways,
Yeah.
federal probation officer had recommended a 15 to 20 month sentence, while prosecutors had requested a 30 years. But the judge only gave him 4.5. John would end up only serving. He would serve 90% of his sentence and was released on October 3rd, 2014. And then he served the rest of his time in a halfway house.
Old.
Yep.
Old and balls.
Yep. Yep. He kind of looks like a ball bag. April 2008, the Better Government Association, which is just a great name, a non-partisan watchdog group reported that the city of Chicago had spent more than $522 million in previous decade on lawsuit settlements, judgments, legal fees for the defense related to police misconduct.
Jesus. And are the taxpayers of Illinois happy with that?
Oh, I'm sure they're just over the moon.
520 million. Think of how many schools and hospitals you could work with that.
Yep. In 2013, the most expensive year, it paid more than $83.6 million. The city paid a total of $391.5 in judgments, more than a quarter or 110 were related to 24 convictions, a dozen which involved John.
Well, that is
and all were mostly black subjects, believe it or not. Isn't that hard to believe? Overall, the city paid alleged victims and John, more than $57 million.
What do you mean the majority? Does he ever torture a white person?
I think it's mainly black and Hispanics. I don't think I saw a white person's name. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it was probably like a fucking unicorn. You know what I mean? It's like this. I don't know. This kind of feels weird hitting a white guy. I don't know what's going on here. This is weird. You know?
You can't choose the box, John.
Yeah, get the.
You got a white guy box. You got a cracker ass box in there somewhere.
Yeah, can't do this, John. What the? 2008, the state legislation passed a bill authorizing creation of the Illinois Torture Inquiry Relief Commission.
What year is this?
How? That 2009. How
2009,
fucking bad do you have to be? Do you have to make a torture relief commission? Seriously, what the fuck?
That's something you expect to find after like a genocide in the Balkans, you know?
Right? To investigate, to investigate cases of people, quote, in which police torture might have resulted in wrongful convictions.
Lord.
Initially, the commission was to be focused only on the Midnight Crew and John, right?
Yeah.
But in April 2016, 130 other cases that were not related to John
What do you mean not
were
related
brought
to
up.
him?
Had nothing to do with John and the Midnight Crew. So 130 other cases. Yep.
So this was just standard operating procedure in Chicago Police Department?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How Los Angeles?
Oh, I'm sure LA's got their own, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's no doubt they've got fucking like gangs in the LAPD.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to do. We could do a whole series on them. Somebody could do a whole podcast on them. What am I saying?
Just on
The
LAPD,
city.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, like LA, Chicago, New York PD. You could just do a whole like. Anyways, city 2000.
Because he got caught.
Yeah, right. The city in 2014 expanded the scope on all claims of torture, but were unable to get the support from the state house. So after all that, the state was like, no, we're not doing that.
We've
I see those. I've heard about those 130, but I just don't care. So,
We're probably guilty of something, right?
yep. So I meant so this is basically just, activists doing what activists do and trying to
So,
cause awareness, right?
Aaron
So-
Peterson, David Faltenroy, Edward James.
So that's okay. And I hate to, like, goddamn, I hate to mention this guy's name. April 14th, 2015, Mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, announced the creation. He's a fucking piece of shit. I don't even want to talk about him, but I'm going to have to mention this. Creation of a 5.5 million city fund for individuals who had proved that they've been victimized by the Midnight Crew.
Good for him. Thank you, Mayor Emanuel, for doing the correct thing. Good job.
Yeah. One of the only fucking good things, this fucking
No.
pile of shit.
I couldn't let it
Fucking
go,
piece of
Couldn't
shit
let
that
it go.
needs fucking, just taken out in the street.
What's the worst thing Rahm Emanuel did then in your review? The number one thing, just one thing.
Oh, just one thing?
If you could,
Oh,
if you
fuck.
like a specimen example of something he's done that you don't like.
The easiest thing is just his support of Israel. We'll just leave it at that. But I mean,
Okay, yeah, no, fair enough.
there's so much like during the Obama years that he was behind. Even before that, when he was in Chicago politics before, I don't know. Just if you don't.
I said one thing for a reason, Seamus.
All right. I'll shut up. Anyways,
Yeah, well done.
yeah. So, anyways, John broke his silence. Whenever this happened, right? He wasn't happy about it, and he believed that the Chicago political leadership could, quote, even contemplate giving reparations to human vermin. So he was upset about this. This really upset John.
Oh,
Should
no.
we have a moment to be worried about John's feelings and all this? Nobody talks about the torture.
You've been, how many pages have you gone now? We haven't once considered his feelings.
Right, I know. The fund was approved by the Chicago City Council, May 6, 2015. Now, Burge, who never got married, died age 70, September 19th, 2018, at his home in Apollo. Yep. Possibly from prostate cancer, we don't know. It is believed, dear Barry,
Yeah.
that he tortured at least 118 people.
Okay.
So there's some
It
pretty
must be- it
fucking.
It must be more
What's
than
that?
that. Like, it must be more than that.
Oh yeah, that's just the ones we know, right? So
Yeah.
it's a lot. That's some numbers, man. Some numbers,
I wouldn't even torture one person.
right? I don't know. Would you? No.
They piss me off.
Um.
You don't want to get in my
So-
dark side, Seamus. You've seen what happens.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. A lot of emails.
We used to have a guy on a podcast called John Hamill. No one's ever heard of him since. So let's, and I'm not, okay? Just don't get him wrong. That's all.
Good. So it sounds like Chicago, they figured it out, right?
Yeah.
They've learned their lesson, Barry.
That's not going to happen again. That's good news, right? They have the fund,
Yep.
they have the investigations, they have the
Yep.
guy in jail. Problem solved.
Yep.
Right,
Problem is,
Seamus?
I'm on-
Right, Seamus?
I'm on-
Right? Right, Seamus?
I'm on,
Right?
I'm on page 12 of 13, so
Fuck you, Seamus. I like the part when
1992.
all the problems were solved.
1992, Chicago Police Department's Holman Square facility, which is a former Sears and Roebuck company warehouse on the city's west side, was open.
Side.
Nah, I'm sure a lot of people are like, "Oh, Sears and Roebucks, I know what that means." No, not really. Most of you don't, but that's
Is it
an actual.
detention center?
Oh, wow! You saw where this is going.
No, I'm assuming you said they opened it up. So
Yeah. The facility housed the department's evidence and recovery property section. In 2015, the facility gained worldwide notoriety when American journalist Spencer Ackerman wrote a series of articles in The Guardian comparing it to a CIA black site.
oh god,
After publication, some activists described it as a secret torture site.
it looks so unassuming, doesn't it?
Yeah. From that article, police disappeared 7,185 people in an off-books interrogation warehouse in Chicago.
Whoa. You say they disappeared 1,000?
Yep.
Just off the streets.
Yep. These are people they arrested. It'll make more sense in a minute. From August 2004 to June 2015, nearly 6,000 of these folks were black. Shocker. Which represents more than twice the proportion of the city's population. But only 68 of those held were allowed access to attorneys or a public notice of the whereabouts internal police records show.
That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment, Seamus.
Thank you. Exactly.
That's
So
when we said a CIA black site, that's not what we meant. Nowadays we call it a CIA African American site.
Ba-dum. So, a community-led coalition sued the city of Chicago, and in 2020 for the use of basically, what I just talked about.
Right.
A consent decree had been agreed upon at this time that ensures that legal rights of anyone in custody are protected, which you would think the Constitution should already do that.
Yeah,
But anyways,
we already have a consent decree. It's
Yeah.
called Miranda.
Yep. But it was announced at the site of Holman Square. The station was a symbol of, like what we said, yada, yada. I'm probably going on too much about the same thing over and over again. Anyways, so Holman Square, quote, was essentially a black site for arrestees to be detained without access to counsel. Chicago is the false confession capital of the nation, and denying access to counsel is a big part of that.
Yeah.
That is from
Minister of
Alex.
Detention.
Alex Van Brunt, director of MacArthur Justice City Center's Illinois office and attorney in the case.
The
A crucial
false confession.
Right? I mean, that's fucking right. Yeah. Crucial part of the settlement is the monitoring and enforcement of the consent decree. Chicago PD has to install the phones and signage and guaranteed access to attorneys for individuals in police custody. The settlement provides a natural check in CPD's practices of post-arrest. So, police settlements by the numbers from 2025.
Here we go, folks.
So, $82 million is the amount that Mayor Brandon Johnson's budget set aside for such settlements, right? The city had already expended almost half the amount by February of that year.
This is last year.
220, the amount of wrongful convictions, lawsuits, pending against two former Chicago officers, more than pending against former
Right.
another. Yeah, and they're still paying out against John, too. So some of these are still part of those cases, right?
Yeah.
$130 million, the amount of settlement and judgments against John, costing the city. $80 million, the amount that the lawsuits against the other two cops for Cook County. $879 million and payouts for wrongful conviction lawsuits in Illinois, the second most in the country. New York leads them at 899 million in payouts.
So what's that all?
That's fucking insane. That's gross.
That's over $1 billion altogether, right?
Yeah, that's just insane.
Can you think of any man, any single man in American history who's cost the government more money? Just one guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't all him. It wasn't all him, but I mean,
Maybe Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. Well, it'll be Trump before it's over, probably. But
Yeah.
so, but so yeah, there you go. I mean, what the
That's your
fuck?
show.
That's it. I mean,
That's incredible stuff, Seamus. Well done.
right? That's fucking insane.
Yeah,
it's
I like,
gross.
I like the way you structured it too.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
I never heard of that guy
but,
before.
Me neither. Me neither.
Oh, okay.
It blew my brain out. So, but like,
Well,
Susan,
now
so
you've all
home and,
heard it's Dick.
yeah. So Home and Square is what I was going to do this on. And then I looked at it, and as soon as I looked at Home and Square, they kept on referring back to Jon Burge. I'm like, who's this fucker? And then I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So, yeah. What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Well, that's an unfortunate chunk of information you just shared with us.
Yep.
And now you know where your taxpayers' money goes if you live in Illinois.
Yeah. I'm probably not a surprise, but yeah.
Lord. It's like when you talk to Catholics, do you know where your money's going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But surely there's more recent things we can talk about than this.
Ah.
This part of the show is called What's New. And during this part of the show, we put the words FBI and CIA into Google and hit the news tab and see what's happened this week. Seamus will surely have something to do with Cash Paddle.
Hey, how'd you know? So I only have 3 things. This one, it's from Mother Jones. It's actually just the other day. Public records show the FBI secretly extracts data from ICE protesters' phones.
Ooh.
Now,
Secretly from the phones.
yeah, but I mean, this isn't nothing new. We knew about this forever, right? That's why it's one of the things, if you ever talk to anybody before you go to a protest, they always tell you, don't bring your phone. Or if you bring a phone, don't bring your phone, right?
Yeah.
Because of this. This is what happens. So, I
How do you do
mean,
it secretly?
I don't know. I honestly didn't read the whole article. I just started going through it.
The headline alone is enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Mother Jones, so it's easy to find, folks.
Okay.
And then now we, of course, have to talk about
Cash. Cash. You picked the ideal little clip from film to go with it too. It's perfect. Well done.
yeah. So Kash Patel is honeypot Israeli
Girlfriend.
alleged Israeli spy girlfriend. Yeah, Alexis Wilkins is getting trolled for her uncomfortably painful MAGA song, apparently, that she's put out. So she did a song. There's a place here I wanted to read her quote about it. She previously posted a clip in 2023 on Instagram with a caption explaining her hopes for the track, where she wrote, I want steel and fiddles and country music and liberty and freedom in the great country. I wrote this song to represent just that. The good old days I've lived, the ones that came before me that I've only heard about. I think together we can get there again. God bless America. I want my country back.
Yeah.
Hashtag Flashback Friday.
She's just like Carty Blanton, yeah.
Yeah, so she's just, yeah. Oh, speaking of, yeah, be a friend, not a cop. Carsey Blanton. So definitely good for this episode, right? So, but she's also under attack because she's going to be singing the national anthem at America's 250th.
Is anybody attacking her for being a Mossad asset for a good reason?
People have, but nobody's really come out and said too much about it.
If all she ever did was release shitty music, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. And plus, she's probably been, guarded by Secret Service, and, Paddle's been doing all kinds of other shit, but whatever.
Sad.
So this one is, I don't know how much, it wouldn't surprise me, but I'm just going to say this article's released by Tech Dirt. So
I've used those sites before.
Okay. Cash Paddle, FBI Director apparently paying off FBI allies with
Thank you
personal
for
slush
pronouncing it
fund.
correctly.
Thank you. Dum-dum. We have been receiving troubling reports that you may have been using part of the budget of the FBI as a part of a slush fund to make tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars unlawful bonus payouts to loyalist MAGA henchmen who have been engaged in misconduct, says a letter from Representative Jamie Raskins. Yeah, actually, okay, I did find where this letter is out there. So what I just read is real.
Cool.
So that is from Raskins, which, I mean, that would make sense. I'd have thought they would quote him without. It's actually published from the Judiciary Committee on their website.
Oh.
So there you go.
Okay.
It's a real thing. So hey,
It's not just some guy.
Yeah.
Just come out with it.
Yeah. So see, I knew what I was talking about. Anyways, that's all I got.
Well, that was great. But now we're going to talk about the CIA.
Pum.
On People.com, Michael Fassbender reveals surprising thing he learned about real-life CIA agents for the agency role. The agency is the name of the movie he's in. The surprising, I just skimmed on the test. It's interesting enough, but the surprising thing he learned about CIA agents is that they're all sociopaths.
No.
And
Come on.
I'm not
Come on,
joking.
Michael.
That is the surprising thing he learned about the CIA agents. They're
Come
all
on,
sociopaths.
Michael.
And to be
I
an
have more
effective
faith in him.
To be an effective field agent, you really would have to be a sociopath.
Yeah, I think so.
Next is on historytoday.com, which is the CIA's history of violence. And he's really, although he could talk about anything, and he's really talking about the Guatemala thing. And we did an episode about Guatemala called Operation PB Success, where Chesh was the guest, and we never had her back again. We couldn't. And it just you cannot be allowed to stand what she did during that episode. And I know you tried to do your best to edit around it, but if you go and watch the show, you'll see how bad she was. It was pretty bad. But if you don't want to see her, then read this on historytoday.com. The CIA's history of violence, but he's really just talking about what happened in Guatemala between John Foster Dulles and Castilla Armas and so on and so forth. And the last one is
But we do love Chesh. We just have fun.
Sorry, that's sarcasm. Yeah. I think Chesh is good. She's we can't ever have him, but she's great. We like her. She's I don't hate her.
Yeah,
I did, but I don't now.
We're just blackballing her. That's all.
Don't worry, she'll never see this.
Okay. Yeah, pull it out.
I also use theguardian.com as a source, and the headline is ex-CIA official accused of stealing $40 million in gold bars, reportedly created by fake spy program, and I love it already. And just the little thing is David Rush, who was a senior level employee of the Central Intelligence Agency for 17 years, was arrested in May after agents discovered Rush had taken 303 bars, each about 2.2 pounds, dozens of luxury watches, and more than $2 million in foreign currency from his government office. You should read. I would love to read the whole thing, but you guys need to get home. So the whole thing is hilarious. It's just very funny.
I don't know if was that part of our what's new last time, or did John Hudson just bring that up in the chat? He must have brought it up in the chat.
I did not do that.
Okay.
And that's all I have. So I guess that is notre episode. And I think I told Seamus in the green room I'm still not getting any sleep, but my body is getting used to it, and I should be able to write something. So Seamus should be off writing duty for the next week or two, and in 2 weeks' time we will have. I'm going to ask you. Here, I can write, I have kind of a thing half done about British Guyana, which is a country at the top bit of South America next to Venezuela. And I have another bit kind of half done about the Suez crisis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys in the chat to say whether you want to hear more about British Guyana or whether you want the Suez would be the canal in Egypt. Whether you want to hear more about British Guyana or whether you want to hear more about the Suez crisis. And whoever gets the most votes, that's what I'll do. What do you think about that, Seamus?
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Episode, and thank you, and I will see you in 2 weeks, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Cash!